From Careco TV, one of the longest running outdoor programs on television today. Exploring the country and the coast in search of adventures. From the mountains of the great Northwest to the shores of the Atlantic Ocean. This is Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. Every year, big names in the fishing industry like Garmin, Bass Pro Shops, AFTCO, and more discover new ways to take their products to the next level, and this year is no exception. We're seeing upgraded baits from the likes of Secret Lures and SPRO, the best line options from Sunline, and AFTCO is breaking barriers with their newest Reaper hoodies. So strap in, because this episode of Americana Outdoors is going to cast all of the latest advancements in the fishing world your way. First up, let's take a look at how the Garmin Livescope has changed the way anglers approach the waters.
It's funny because I can't even imagine fishing without Livescope now. You know, it's one of those tools that we've had it for a few years, and to have it taken away from me, I would feel like I would have to relearn how to fish.
I use it every single day, whether I'm in 2 foot or 5 foot. If I'm going down the bank, I'm always looking for a contour change, a log, a rock, or something like that. I may come across one stump or something, you know, catch a fish or two, and it changes the outcome of the day as a tournament angler, but there's just simply not a day that my unit's not turned on and I'm not staring at Livescope.
Here's one of the cool things about it. I mean, for the average angler, if you do a little bit of study on fish, you know, how they school up or how they relate to cover, you can now identify that species of fish by that bright spot, the way it swims. And it's all about trying to figure out how to catch that fish at that point.
It's amazing technology, and what it really is to me the most is giving me information whether I'm catching fish, whether I'm not catching fish, whether I'm seeing fish, whether I'm not seeing fish, what cover I'm seeing, how the fish are reacting. And so it's just, for me, Livescope's just a tool that I've got that I absolutely, you know, I think it's just, you have to have it.
To learn more about the Garmin Livescope and add this revolutionary technology to your arsenal, visit Garmin.com. Up next, it's no secret that we aren't the best secret keepers. And that's why we're spilling the beans about the newest lineup of baits from Secret Lures.
The Stupid Craw is 3.7 inches of crawdad goodness that you're going to want in your tackle box this year. We've thought of a lot of the things that we've learned and we've integrated them into this bait. With the Stupid Craw, you've actually got rigging landmarks on the bottom, and what really makes a big difference, when you hit those 2 dots, your hook lays in a hook trough here in the back that protects it from snags, vegetation, anything that would normally get stuck is now protected on the Stupid Craw. We've got a set of pinchers, unlike anything you've seen, very thin outer cupped edges, gives it an amazing amount of flutter on the fall. The Stupid Craw actually performs well all the way down to an 1/8 ounce jig head, and the brand new 5/16 ounce jig head was designed exclusively for the Stupid Craw as well. Let's talk a little bit about the colors. Right out of the gate, we're starting with 5 staples everybody needs in their tackle box. We've got Old Faithful green pumpkin, we've got the trusty black and blue, one of my personal favorites, black and red, as well as a dark June bug, and we have a new Secret Lures exclusive color called Lucky Penny. I think you'll be happy with any of these colors, and we look forward to introducing more as we get up and rolling with the new Stupid Craw.
Let's hit the water with Jeff Reynolds and Wade Middleton and see this Stupid Craw in action.
Good one. That right there is fun. 65-pound braid, big heavy rod, the Stupid Craw, and flipping back into gnarly stuff. Man, that was a fun bite right there. Flipped over the top of them cattails. Thank you, Mr. Fish. Oh yeah. The one thing I like the most about this Stupid Craw is the size of it. It's a little bulkier than some plastics, and there's some that are bulkier, but it's just it's a good thick body, which it's a hollow body. It's a tube style bait, hollow in the middle, where you put rattles or whatever you want to in it. Got these little legs that's got a lot of action to them, And it's just a good bait to slide through these cattails, getting thick cover. You know, you're not having to shake it to get it in there. It just goes right through there. And for me, the bulkiness, you know, I just feel like I catch better fish like that.
The first time Wade tried out the old Stupid Craw, he certainly saw more success than the surrounding boats.
Oh, we got one shaking his head that time. A little better one. A little deeper out on the point. I mean, you can watch me just sitting here. I mean, we're watching everybody else, and I'm just throwing out and shaking my Stupid Craw. And I'm not saying this is the only bait you can catch them on, but boy, it sure seems to be working.
There's no question that this bait catches big ones. For more information on the Secret Lures Stupid Craw and to keep an eye out for what Secret Lures will develop next, head on over to secretlures.com. All right, coming up, we're going to show you an innovative new ball jig from Big Bite Baits and the latest in outerwear from AFTCO. Stay tuned.
You have a full-time job and you want to be a full-time angler. Don't waste time scouting. You want to catch fish. That's where Garmin comes in. Our mapping with Navionics data lets you see more detail than the fish do. It's kind of a big deal. Oh, and our industry-leading live sonar is so crisp and clear you'll think you jumped in. You're welcome. Now if only we had a powerful, efficient, whisper-quiet trolling motor. Actually, we do. It's called Force. We knew you'd like that. Less time finding, more time catching fish. Only with Garmin.
When there's miles of water in front of you and hundreds of feet below, you need a boat with the chops to dominate, no matter the conditions. With the strength and technology to overcome the elements and the competition. Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time.
Welcome back to Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. So far, we've seen how Garmin changed the game of fishing with the Garmin Livescope, and we got a sneak peek at a craw that's irresistible to fish. Now, let's take a look at a brand new jig from Big Bite Baits that's taking the fishing world by storm.
This is the Pendulate Jighead by Big Bite Baits, and as you can see, it has the ability to swivel right up here. It's all built in. You can turn it. It comes in multiple sizes, and it's been designed for usage on the forward-looking sonar type applications. You know, much like the Garmin Livescope. And we're going to be spending some time looking at it, as other people have, and how it performs. And there's a lot of good reasons to have a jig head exactly like this. One of the things I really like about it is the way that the head will spin right like this to eliminate line twist and allow you to be able to use it a lot in those forward-looking sonar type applications. I use Garmin Livescope a ton, and this type of a jig head is gonna give you the opportunities to present the bait better, less line twist, a great hook that'll be able to handle any size fish that you're gonna hook. And you know, like I said, a variety of baits can be used in it from a finesse type standpoint. So whether you're using it in a finesse bass fishing type situation, or you're pan fishing, you're using it in forward-looking sonar, whatever type of situation that you're looking at, it's just gonna be another tool to help you generate more bites, but also not lose them when you hook them up. Crappie. That's so fun. You know, the whole forward look in the Panoptix Livescope by Garmin has just changed the way that I like to fish for panfish, largemouth, any kind of fish. Basically, they're just it's a lot of fun looking at them. And you know, got one little brush pile out here. We're dropping this Pendulate Jighead with a little swim-on bait from Big Bite on there, and I'm using 10-pound Sunline Sniper with a 10-pound actually braided line, and just dropping it down here, and it's a really light bite, you know, and you pull them out of there. It's such a fun way to catch fish. That won't ever get old.
Don't miss out on the all-new Pendulate Jighead from Big Bite Baits. When you think about heading out on the water, no matter the time of year, you always want to be prepared for the forecast. AFTCO dominates the industry when it comes to providing anglers with top-of-the-line outerwear for every season. Here's a look at what's ahead.
Hey guys, Michael Neal. I want to talk to you about the Reaper from AFTCO. This thing has been my most comfortable sweatshirt that I've ever worn. The best feature is this right here, the face mask. You pull it up or you leave it down around your neck, whichever one. Controlling the heat around your head and neck area really helps you keep warm in whatever you're doing outside in the cold times. So make sure to check out that new AFTCO Reaper colors. It's a great go-to for the wintertime.
Another go-to wintertime hoodie is the Reaper Windproof Pullover. The number one thing many anglers look for in their cold weather gear is something that will keep the cold wind off them. And this 3-layer soft shell addition to the Reaper lineup is guaranteed to do just that, with its very own AFTCO Hexatron fleece lining. Now, if you're looking for something a little more lightweight for the summertime, when you're not necessarily trying to stay warm, but want to keep the blazing hot sun off your skin, the all-new Jason Christie Performance shirt is the way to go.
One of the coolest ideas I ever had was the JC hoodie. And what I wanted was something that still protected my ears, my neck, but also gave me freedom to breathe. So, if I'm just normal fishing, this is how I fish. Hood up, unzip. If I'm gonna run to the next spot, I'll zip it up. It keeps me protected even while I'm running. But there's just so many things about it. We have a pocket here for cell phone, have the little hooks here that keep the sleeves up, and in combination with the Sulago gloves, it really protects me from the sun and honestly just keeps me cooler on the water.
Time and time again, AFTCO has displayed their passion for developing products with anglers in mind, and this new collection of outerwear is no exception. Check out everything they have to offer at aftco.com. When we come back, we'll see what SPRO and Gamakatsu have in store for anglers this year.
The Yamaha VMAX V6 SHO continues to deliver the level of performance that pro bass and multi-species anglers demand. Underneath a bold and aggressive new look, an upgraded charging system with 40% more charging power meets the amped-up demand for today's advanced electronics. The VMAX SHO, raw power, reliability, and exhilarating performance for every angler who loves the sport enough to invest in the best. Yamaha, reliability starts here.
Attention anglers, are you looking for soft tubes or craws? How about big jigs, little jigs, and shaky heads of all sorts and sizes? Do you want some sweet swim jigs that you can take all across the country? When's the last time you stocked up on frogs, wacky rigs, or big old lead shakers? Maybe you just need a few swim bait heads, finesse jigs, and some good old stupid tube jig heads. You'll find all that and more fishing gear when you go online and shop the entire selection of Secret Lures now.
Welcome back to Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. We're back with continued coverage of what's new in 2022. As a longtime fan of throwing frogs and switching up his presentation style, Wade Middleton is on the water now to give us his thoughts on the brand new Flappin Frog 65 from SPRO.
SPRO has long been known for dominating the amphibious market for fishing, aka the frog market. It is without question that SPRO has built some of the most dynamic baits for that type of fishing. I've really enjoyed fishing the frogs, whether I'm throwing a popping frog, walking it back and forth in and around heavy cover, trying to tease and trick fishing to biting, or throwing a gliding, twitching frog out across the same type of cover. You can just fish them in so many diverse places that you can't throw a lot of other baits. And as part of that launch, now you've got the Essential Series SPRO Flapping Frog. This is the 65 model right here. Comes in a multitude of different colors, and it's designed to be thrown out and have constant flapping action. And when you dig deeper into this particular bait, you see everything that has made all of the SPRO frogs dominant for so long. Oh, good one too. That never gets old, being able to take a bait like this. You can see all the vegetation below that fish right there and everywhere that we're fishing. God, look how you choke that thing. That's what you want to see one do. You know, one of the first things you're gonna look at when you look at this frog, the legs replace the skirts that are typical on all the SPRO frogs. You know, and by nature, this is gonna provide a different action. And as we all know in fishing, there's days where a different action really pays off to generate strikes and hookups. Speaking of hookups, this bait features the tremendous hooks that are made by Gamakatsu that are well known to be a part of all the SPRO frogs, and it's a double hook situation right here that allows the bait to be able to come through all the different cover, but when you get a bite, the body collapses and you can see the hook right there, the points come out, and you're going to be able to get an immediate hookup as you're reeling it in.
SPRO has hit it out of the park once again with their new Flappin Frog 65. And speaking of hooks designed by Gamakatsu, Gamakatsu is another big name in the fishing world that has several new products on the market this year. Let's start with a new Feathered Treble they've added to their G-Finesse lineup.
With all the G-Finesse hooks, they're nano-coated and they're tournament-grade wire. So the tournament-grade wire is smaller and thinner, and the nano-coating makes it very slick, so it penetrates a fish's mouth very easily. These are available in a size 6 all the way up to a 1/0. So if you need something small, it's got all the sizes that you need. So there's white, and then there's also a chartreuse one.
Another new hook to keep an eye out for this year is the G-Power Flip and Punch, designed for flipping into heavy cover.
This is tournament grade wire, nano coat technology, and it's got a welded eye, perfect for getting in those really thick mats, big rods, heavy line, braid, and the keeper is a perfect cupped keeper. It's not a point, it's rounded on it, it holds the bait up there really nice, and these have a shorter hook point than normal flipping hooks, so it's easier penetration. Make sure you check them out at gamakatsu.com.
With new hooks comes the need for new weights. Here's Gamakatsu Pro Mike McClelland on the newest models of G-Shield tungsten weights.
The thing that they've done is they have taken an insert that goes all the way to the bottom of the tungsten weight, comes all the way to the top of the tungsten weight, so that shield is actually encapsulated inside the tungsten. Another real key factor is the fact that they've got 3 different versions. You've got the punching weight. It's got a mushroom style head. Then you've got the tungsten flipping weights. The tungsten flipping weights are going to be in a little more traditional sizes, smaller. The tungsten worm weight, any just Texas rig situation you're going to come into, the tungsten worm weight, again, G-Shield technology. So be sure and check out all the new Gamakatsu new tungsten weights.
We've barely scratched the surface of the all-new products by Gamakatsu. In addition to what we just saw, they have new underspin head minis, spring lock spinners, Jika rigs, cover Nico hooks, and more. So no matter your style of fishing, Gamakatsu has hooks that will fit your tackle needs this year. Coming up, we're wrapping up our day with new gear you won't want to miss out on from Bass Pro Shops and Sunline. We don't have a large laboratory to test baits. Why, you ask? We don't need a big laboratory because our pros fish, our employees fish, our owners fish, and our kids fish. This is our laboratory. Our R&D comes from time on the water. All that time on the water brings us thousands of hours of testing new products and improving current ones for all species. Big Bite Baits, designed to bring the big bite to your line.
Born in Japan, FC Sniper became the #1 fluorocarbon line in the Japanese market. It transitioned to the US in the early 2000s and continues to grow in prominence with anglers. FC Sniper is the flagship product in the American market and bestseller. It features the perfect blend of abrasion resistance, low memory, and tensile strength. FC Sniper is offered in pound tests that range from 2 pound to 30 pound and in spool sizes up to 1,200 yards. FC Sniper has the strength to guarantee your confidence.
Welcome back to Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. Spinnerbaits have always been a staple in any avid outdoorsman's tackle box, and this year, Bass Pro Shops is revolutionizing the way you'll hit the water with a spinnerbait in hand with their brand new XPS All-American Spinnerbait.
The spinnerbait is a bait that I don't even know how old the spinnerbait is. There's been a model of some sort around a spinnerbait for longer than I've been alive. And the reason why it's still so key in all of our arsenals today is by nature, this creates a reactionary strike. And there's a lot of different components that go into that to help make some spinnerbaits better than others. This All-American series by Bass Pro Shops is going to allow you to pick a spinnerbait size and blade combination that's going to fit for your needs 12 months out of the year on a variety of bodies of water from clear to muddy. Let's start with the blades. These are Hildebrandt blades, and they come in a variety of sizes on the All-American series to match the watercolor and the bait configurations that you're looking for. The wire is a very important integral part of a spinnerbait. A lot of people don't pay enough attention to the wire when they're picking a spinnerbait. You want one, in my opinion, that's going to allow you to feel that vibration of the blades coming through the water, but also be durable enough. This is one of those classes of wire. As you look a little bit deeper into this, you've got a trocar hook, and a hook is another very important aspect to a spinnerbait. You want a hook that's going to be able to withstand tough conditions, banging it off a dock so you make a bad cast, but also boat flipping, big fish, and this trocar hook is that. Plus, it's going to be incredibly sharp to be able to penetrate a fish's mouth when you get a bite. And then finally, when you start looking at all the different skirt configurations, these are made by Z-Man, and Z-Man has built a reputation in recent years of creating skirts that are very realistic to match the bait fish and the color combinations that fishermen like out there. So regardless of the size of spinnerbait that you're looking for, regardless of the blade configurations, this All-American series from Bass Pro Shops is going to set up well for you to be able to dynamically present baits 12 months out of the year and prove that the old spinnerbait is still just one of those fish catching baits as it was decades ago.
Visit BassPro.com to add the XPS All-American Spinnerbait to your tackle box. We can't take all of these great new products out on the water without some seriously durable line that holds up under pressure. And our favorite line to cast has always been Sunline. Let's see what they have in store for us this year.
Hey guys, we know Sunline makes great line, but they're also making some great line accessory. Probably my favorite is the line stalker. I keep it right here in the boat. I keep my leader material in it. It protects it from getting banged around, but also one of the things that can hurt your line the most is the sun, so you want to keep it protected.
Also new from Sunline this year is the Sokamaki backing line, which gives anglers a more cost-effective backing for their baitcast reels.
What Sunline has done has made a very affordable backing that is perfect for any bait caster. You never use all your line, so you want to keep it fresh, so you put the backing on there to only use about the top 70%. The Sokamaki is 1,000 yard spools for $13, and it keeps your reels ready to go.
Another new product is the Mabarashi FC Leader.
The new Mabarashi is 100% leader material featuring 5-meter colors to better blend into the environment. Each color is 6 inches long and then transition to the next color, repeating for the full length of the line. This allows anglers to tie his lure in any color section to match the type of cover he is fishing, giving the angler the ultimate stealth leader.
Speaking of tying on your lures, here's Jason Christie on one thing that can make or break your time on the water.
It doesn't matter if you're a weekend angler or an elite series angler. There's one thing between you and the fish, and it's the knot. Go to Sunline America. On the knots page, we have animations and all the knots that you need to tie as an angler.
Be sure to check out all of these exciting new products and knot tying tips from Sunline at sunlineamerica.com. That's a wrap on our coverage of what's new in 2022. From electronics and clothing to baits and weights to hooks and line and everything in between, industry leaders are continuing their traditions of outdoing themselves and creating better and better products, and you certainly won't want to miss out on anything we've shared with you today. Hey, thank you for watching, and join us next week on a new episode of Americana Outdoors. Americana Outdoors is a Careco TV production. This episode was made possible by these partners.
As a professional angler, you've got so many things on your mind. Any advantage that we have is key. And not only rods and reels and lines and baits, but in our clothes. And the guys at AFTCO, they have something for every situation. There's nothing AFTCO hasn't thought about. with the fishermen in mind. It's designed for fishermen, by fishermen, for every scenario you can come to. Any fish, any water, any condition, AFTCO has you covered.
From sun up to sundown, day in and day out, we work hard. We play hard. And to keep us going during those long hours, we demand performance. ENGEL Coolers, the original high-performance cooler.